I'm delighted to say that on the phone right now we have Luke Royalty. How you doing, Luke?
I'm really well, thanks, Frankie. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I just let the listeners know this was a very last minute interview, but an opportunity arose to get you on the show. And seeing as though you've got the single of the week, I thought we'd better take it. And thanks for giving us another brilliant single. You're on our tips for 2022 as well, which means even if you put out like 3.5 minutes of farting, we'd have to playlist it. Luckily, you haven't.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, that makes it even better. Thank you.
Tell us a bit about this single then. Who did you work with on it? How long have you had it in the vaults for? Or is it quite fresh?
I think in terms of like compared to the other ones, it is quite fresh. I went down in the summer and to London to work with a producer called Julian Flew, who works with like El Divine and a few other people, and it kind of it was one of those where I wanted to write like a really different personal song, so like something a bit different from the ones that I've done, like with the classic like pop choruses and stuff. I wanted to do something that was a bit more like showed a different side to me, if you know what I mean. And I think once this song got finished, it was kind of pretty obvious that it was the single, and it was going to be, because it stood out from the others, because the others are slightly more similar to my other stuff. So it just kind of it just one of those where the turnaround was very quick because of how quickly it jumped out compared to the other songs, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do know what you mean. What came first on this track then? Was there a kind of the mood of the track and then the lyrics, and then you kind of build it around that? Is that what comes first for you naturally? I mean, it's definitely got great lyrical content, which is one of the main things in your music, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose. I think the idea of the song had been something that I wanted to do for a while. I had the idea of naming the song Blue Peter like for quite a while. There's like 4 of the songs I've got also called Blue Peter, but they were just rubbish, so they didn't get like chosen or whatever. And I think like I don't know. I think like I said before, it was just I really wanted to write like a song which was personal, and I wanted to write like a message to some of my mates because they've been like really supportive over the past year of me doing music, because it's quite different like from a lad from Darlow to be doing like pop music, especially in my like close circle of friends from where I grew up, and they've been really supportive, so I kind of wanted to give them something back. And I had a few of the lyrics. I had like the poem, which is before the big outro. I had that written down from quite a while ago, and I kind of just chipped away at it, and it came together in the studio within like a day, which was great.
No, it's really great, and I think I've been on your singles for quite a while now, and I can see the progression of not just development of production and sound, but of definitely of you as a person as well. You're definitely growing at the same time as your music, because you're still relatively young. You're still experiencing life experiences, and your music's kind of it's documenting that on your journey. And that's what I love about you at the minute, Luke. I think it's really good. And then you're reflecting on that time, you just mentioned that your friends being supportive around you and your background. I mean, are you those friends you mentioned, are any of them making music themselves or in the creative industries? Or I know from my own background, a lot of them went straight into work from school. So it's quite hard to, find common ground in those situations. But, I guess what you have is a long-standing friendship, and that stands you in such good stead, doesn't it? Really grounds you and keeps you focused, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think we had quite a big group at school, like us lads. It was like 14, 15. I think I was the only one who did anything creative. The others all kind of went into like manual labour jobs or like IT jobs. A few of them went to uni, but like I said before, there was never any like slander towards me or anything from them for like trying to do something just a little bit different. So like kind of, and I know it's quite easy to, you can imagine in the pub, like who does he think he is, like releasing music and stuff. It'd be quite easy to, and they don't. So I suppose this was like quite just like a song dedicated to them, I suppose.
I guess that has something to do with the circumstance of, I guess, the Northeast, of course. And, when I first started making music 12, 13 years ago, it was very different to what it is now, but there's still very limited opportunities in the creative industries up here, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's weird, like especially when you go to like when I went to London to make the song, and I was speaking to the producer about like the people he went to school with, and he was saying like, oh yeah, that like one of my mates is like an art dealer, and the other one's like, I don't know, like just, oh, they're all creative, and I couldn't believe it. There wasn't like just like the percentage of his friendship group was like pretty much 80% just creative people, and it kind of blew my mind a bit. And you kind of realize that the Northeast is still feels a little bit behind in terms of making that thing like a normality, really, which is
Yeah,
through no fault of its own, of course. But
yeah,
that's
exactly. It's so odd as well, though, Luke, isn't it? Because the creative industries and putting on a big gig on a Friday night is where everyone goes to let off steam and enjoy themselves and meet up with friends. And we've seen during COVID some venues closing down, promoters just wrapping it in, people working within the music industry wrapping it in because they couldn't afford to continue in the industry. And just for yourself during COVID, was it good that you were you look after yourself and you're a solo artist to a certain point? I know you involve yourself with other people, regular producers and beat makers and sweets and people like that. But during COVID, did you feel like you were not that affected because you just kind of got your head down and started cracking on?
Yeah, definitely. I think if anything, it was a good thing for me, uh, just being by myself, because it, like you said, I didn't have to worry about anyone else. Everyone else had kind of, even the people that I work with, they'd kind of had to have time off from their busy lifestyle, and I just had time to just practice being a songwriter and realize what I wanted to write songs about and how I wanted to look visually, and all the kind of things that go into it. And yeah, I think I kind of slipped into it, and I thought that was like the reality of being like a solo artist. I didn't worry about gigs. I was kind of happy just releasing a tune every like 2 months for the first, like for my first one. I could get used to this. I was happy just releasing tunes and then promoting them and then waiting for the next one. It was kind of, felt quite nice because we didn't have any pressure of really having to push things or doing a release party or anything like that. So it was quite good in that sense. Obviously, it was terrible in other senses, but it was quite good in that sense. Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned your previous plans there and how you did it, but have you got any more plans to release more music in 2022? I imagine you're sitting on quite a pile of tracks.
Yeah, yeah. I think we were quite busy in the summer. Very fortunate to work with quite a few different producers and get lots of stuff down. Got like an EP coming out early this year after this, and I've already got the next one written and stuff. So we're sitting on loads of tracks. Just it's that weird limbo of like waiting for the right time, I suppose.
Yeah, and I guess once you've made some great tracks and you polish them up in the studio and you spend loads of time putting loads of different bits and bobs on it, it gets to a point though, Luke, when you think, if this is as successful as I think it might be, I'm probably going to have to play this live.
Yeah.
Then comes in, you have to sort of live band out, and I imagine it's a bit of a, is it revolving door of who's available at the moment for your band, or have you got a set lineup?
Yeah, I've got a core. We did loads of gigs in the summer, and it was pretty weird to me. I'd never like heard my tune. The first gig we played, which was at 110 Above Festival in Leicester, and all my band are so amazing, and with like we were playing with backing tracks and stuff. We had about 4 rehearsals, and then the first gig we played was like, it was like our 5th rehearsal. It was like so weird to me to like hear these songs which I'd written in my bedroom in lockdown and stuff, like sound so huge and stuff. So it was really it's like such a weird moment. It's probably like the best moment of 2021, that just hearing it for the first time. It was such a weird moment. And yeah, I feel like before lockdown I didn't really look forward to gigs, but now I've got like my band in now, like it's like the best thing about it. I can see why people like rhyme on about it so much.
Yeah, and you've got some pretty big ones coming up this year. You're only going to be supporting Jake Bugg, which means there's going to be quite a lot of people at those gigs. So sometimes, those gigs are easier because you don't see the whites of the eyes kind of thing, and you just get to play on massive venues. Probably Jake Buggles, he's have a team around him where he'll say, right, go and feed Luke Royalty and his team. Great. And you finish work by about 8:30 as well, so you just get smashed. Is that the plan?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I kind of don't know what to expect, so anything could happen. Like, I've never done anything like that. I'm finishing at 8:30, and every night's going to be like the biggest night of the year, one after another. So
yeah,
I don't know. Could be. Yeah, it could be a rough one. We'll see.
I'm sure you'll have fun though, Luke. Right, I've taken enough of your time today. Thanks once again for giving us a single of the week. As I say, you are well and truly on the tips of 2022 now, and you've always been a friend of Amazing Radio. So hopefully get you in soon. Maybe do a session. Come and do a session or something for us.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for picking it, Frankie. It means so much, and yeah, I'd love to come in. I don't even know where the studio is, so I'm gonna have to find out.
It's a secret location.
Location, yeah.
It's not that secret. It's right on the Tyne Bridge. It couldn't be more unsecret, to be honest. But anyway, yes, we'll look forward to having you in the studio soon, Luke. Thanks very much.
No, thank you, Frankie.